Yeah.
It seems like
It's scoring, but you can't score every close round to one side.
How do you keep this from discouraging Serhii?
Well, in his mind, in his heart, he knows he won the fight. Thanks, Serhii. In his mind, he knows he won the fight. He's fighting for his country. He got the knockdowns. He should have won and he's a defending champion. You got to take the belt from the champion, and Vergil didn't do that. And I don't want to discredit Vergil at all. All the respect in the world for him and Robert Garcia, what they did, but it was the judging. The judging, like I said, you can't give every close round to Vergil because he was landing harder punches. I give credit. He landed some great body shots. He landed some hard punches, but Serhii had his head snapped back also, snapping back Vergil's head, and he had his face busted up. His nose was busted up. His eye was busted up. That didn't come from not landing punches.
As a longtime promoter, do you see these things as part of the game because maybe they have other
It's
plans
just discouraging.
ahead?
It's discouraging. We had the Triple G situation up here, and again, I get along with Jeff Mullen. I think he's a great commissioner. It's not his fault. He checked the replay on the first round and ruled correctly that it was. So I'm not blaming Jeff either. It's just I don't know what the judges get caught up in with this. One judge had it a draw. We could have accepted a draw where he would have kept his title, but taking the title away in a fight like that with two knockdowns, it doesn't make sense to me.
With the WBC, they kind of decided with the Robson situation to kind of redo that fight. Do you think that's something
WBC can order
investigate?
if it's a controversial decision like that and a champion loses a belt, the WBC can order an immediate rematch. It's a great fight. You got to give. I don't want to take anything away from the fight. I don't want to take anything away from Vergil or Serhii. It was a great fight. They put on a great show for the fans, just like Oscar and I predicted before the fight. The issue I have is he didn't get a fair shake. Serhii Bohachuk did not get a fair shake tonight here in Las Vegas.
Would you not want a rematch then, seeing now how he's judging?
Sure, he would want a rematch. Yeah, he would want a rematch.
They might be in that room.
Oh, it's a great fight. This I said this beforehand. I said this could be a fight with the two fights, could be 3 fights. I mean, these guys are both warriors, and Vergil proved he was a little bit unproven. He had a great knockout record, a little bit unproven beforehand, and he was like, I guess he was up to like a 4-1, 5-1 favorite. But Serhii showed what a warrior he is, and again, there's no shame for Serhii Bohachuk to hang his head because in his heart he knows he won that fight.
Do you think those scorecards was too wide? I know it was close rounds, but do you think that
basically you had to give every other round to Vergil with 2 knockdowns? That's 4-point deficit. So I'm not sure where every other round was scored for Vergil Ortiz.
So essentially, in this case, like if Bohachuk won 2 rounds, it would be a draw, and then 3 he would have won based off those knockdowns.
So yeah, I haven't done the math, but yeah, it's something like that.
So do you think it was just the fact that? Pretty much
if you go back, the fans saw it on TV. Every text message I got was that Serhii won the fight. They watched it on TV. So I don't know what the judges were watching here as opposed to what he was watching on TV. You got slow motion, everything like that. It's unfortunate. I'm all for if a guy that I'm working with loses, I have no problems with that. But this is not correct. This is not good for the sport of boxing.
It's the last 2 rounds make that much of a difference in the fight.
Well, if it's the last 2 rounds or the first 2 rounds, they're all scored the same. So if you lose the first 2 rounds and win the last 2 rounds or vice versa, you got to win all the rounds. And Serhii set a very high pace. He was throwing more punches. He was coming forward. He was pressing the action. I'm not sure how you can score every round against him like that.
My last question is like a conspiracy theory. Do you feel like because you're talking so much about Crawford and Vergil that influenced the idea?
I don't know. I can't figure out the judging anymore up here. With the first Triple G fight, we had one of the worst scorecards in boxing history.
The worst scorecard ever.
You can quote him on that. The worst scorecard ever in boxing history, where the TV judges had an 8-4 Triple G, and one judge had it 10-2, and the other judges had it a draw where it canceled each other out. So I don't know. I didn't. That left a really bad taste in my mouth. And it's unfortunate when a fighter trains as hard as he does, puts his life on the line, fights for his country, and then loses a title in this fashion. If he lost the fight and Vergil beat him fair and square, then there's absolutely no issue. I'm a big believer in whoever wins the fight should get the scorecards, because otherwise you're ruining the sport of boxing. If you're not scoring accurately, then it defeats the purpose.
And where do you guys go?